It's time for another Wildcat All In. I'm Paul Grua. Joined today a special guest, Wildcat football legend, Stefan Cantwell. You may not consider yourself a legend, but we'd like to think you are.
Okay. I don't, but I played here.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But we're also here to talk to you about what you're doing now that's involving Weber State Athletics, and physical therapy. You just started just recently as a physical therapist with Sundance. That's very close to Weber State and tied with them. And you'll also be working a lot with our student athletes as well.
That is correct.
Does that sum it up?
That sums it up. We're going to be working with all the different teams and the athletes and their injuries. So,
well, it's hard to believe, I'm sure it is for me and probably for you too, that it's been 7 years since you last played here at Weber State.
Crazy. It's crazy what it is.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit about your football career a little bit too, but tell us, since you've left here 7 years ago, kind of what your path has been to this point.
No, yeah. So graduated from Weber, and it took me a couple of semesters after I was done with football to get the prereqs that I needed for school and everything. Eventually got into school, and so then started that journey. Since then, we've had three kids, so have three kids now, and it's just been a ride. It's been fun trying to figure out things post athletics and getting into school and now out of school. So it's just fun getting.
When you were in school here, I mean, I'm assuming you wanted to go into you went into athletic therapy. Is that what you wanted to do?
Correct. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I liked the athletic side, but then I liked the athletic rehab side of things. I liked kind of how the body works and kind of the healing processes of the body. And I just thought that, that was a good tie-in for both of them. And so that's why I decided to go.
You got a degree in physical therapy since then. And what is it that you love about doing that, helping people?
Yeah, I mean, people, when they get injured, it sucks. Like it drastically affects your life, whether it's, a knee replacement, whether it's just a shoulder injury, whatever it is, it changes the way you do things and just the way you want to live your life. And so I really like helping people get back to that, what they were doing before, as well as just the connections you make. Physical therapy is a very personal job, so you get to know people, you talk one-on-one, you get to know their life. And I really like that aspect of physical therapy and getting to know people and helping them rehab.
Yeah, and from an athletic standpoint, from any sport, how much does that physical therapy can help these athletes get back faster and better?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, the mindset behind getting back to athletics, the mindset of, being confident in that body part with whatever injury you're going through is a big task to get through with returning to sports or returning to your athletic event. And so I like that aspect because I can help, build people up. I can, show them they need to be confident in returning to their sport and with whatever's required of them. So I think that lines up really well and how it deals.
How much does it help that you were an athlete as well? Does that help, you think, in your profession now?
Oh, big. Yeah, big. I mean, aside from just the everyday life that injuries cause, getting back to athletics is, your athletic sport is even more than just getting back to your everyday life because it requires more of confidence in your body, but it also requires more, strength and focus on that body. So making sure, those muscles, joints are 100% before you get back, it plays a crucial role into it.
Really is a science, isn't it, behind how the body works and how, what responds to training and therapy. And I'm sure that's fascinating.
Oh yeah, it's super fascinating. That's why I think, with my background in athletics, that this was a good career path for me because I've gone through athletics my whole life. I know what it takes to, get back to playing and to play on the field. Maybe not for soccer and other sports that I didn't play, but getting back to high level things helps me to be able to push patients to get better.
Well, we're excited to have you help our student athletes and be a part of Weber State. That's going to be great for us, for sure. But while we have you here, we should reminisce a little bit, right?
Of course.
About your career. You played in 2016 and 2017 here at Weber State. And that 2017 season is going to be one for the ages for Weber State here. I mean, again, we mentioned 7 years. What do you think back? What when you talk or think about, or if people ask you, I mean, what comes to mind looking back on your career?
I mean, I just miss it. Like everything, the games, the practices, the workouts, like everything you do it was your whole life. So, stepping away from that, it's hard just because, you're not you're not into athletics anymore. You're not, it's not your whole life. You got to go out and find a career and things like that. So when I look back, honestly, I miss that. I miss, the guys I was with, just the times we had. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That season of 2017, made it to won the Big Sky title, went far into the playoffs. Is there a game or two or a play or two that you really look back fondly on?
There's just a couple games. Going down to Cal was pretty fun. We had a good game. Unfortunately, we lost. But that was a fun game. It's my mentality, but I always think about everything else I could have done, which is unfortunate, especially in a loss like that. But it was super fun going down there and playing them. I liked the playoff game against SUU. That was super fun, a really good atmosphere and experience. And then our last
good revenge game
and
too,
a good revenge game
because they beat us in Ogden. Yeah,
it did.
Exactly.
It did.
That was pretty good.
It was, that one was fun. And then the James Madison game, it was fun. Playoff atmosphere, everything like that, going against a good team. And then, like I said, I tend to think about things that I could have done differently, which is good and bad, but helps me reminisce on the game and everything.
Such a great team. How much do you stay in contact with some guys on the team?
A little bit. Over the years. A little bit. Tui Satawala, I talked to him quite a bit. He's actually coach at Kearns right now. And he reached out for some tips and tricks and asked if I wanted to help coach. Unfortunately, at that time, I was in school, so I was like, I don't think I could put the time towards it that you guys need. So I've talked to him a little bit, and then, just over the years, just here and there, a couple of people. Andrew Voller, I talked to. It's been a minute since I talked to him, but I reached out a couple times a couple years ago.
You got guys like Taron Johnson and Rashid in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're playing very well.
Yeah.
And again, Sua Opeta was on that team, and Josh Davis, and Jordan Williams, and so many guys on that team for sure. Anyway, you brought us a lot of memories, that's for sure. You mentioned a little bit, but you grew up your whole life playing football, right, and getting ready for that, and then it came to an end. What do you miss most about not playing anymore?
I think it's the competitive nature of the sport. Just everything we did at Weber, like whether it was the weight room or drills outside of practice, drills inside of practice, the games. It was all competitive, and I think that's what I miss the most. Because when you're done, you take up competitive basketball and flag football and things like that. But it's just not the same. It's you don't have pads, you don't have the Saturday atmosphere. So kind of I would say that the competitiveness, and then just kind of the atmosphere in general. Just being around the other athletes and. And
I know you're not a mental therapist, right? But maybe are these some things that you can talk to athletes while you're helping them that, it's going to come to an end and just some things to be prepared for a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Because, I do think it's, not a shock, but sometimes it's hard to, when you're done, what do you do? Like, what's the next step? And a lot of times it is, prep for pro day and go to pro day and see what that entails. And that's specifically for football, but for other sports, it's, there is the potential to go a little bit farther. And, you want to test those avenues and those paths. But, at the end of the day, eventually sports is going to be done. And, what do you do from that? Where do you go? What do you like to do? Where can you start planning for the future? Yeah. I think that's another aspect that I can talk to people.
Well, tell us one more. You mentioned your family. You have a young family.
Yep. Yeah. So I have my wife, and we have 3 kids, 3 boys. Our oldest is 5, and then we have a 3-year-old, and we have one that turns 1 next week. So
are they going to be athletes, do you think?
You know, I think they will.
Okay.
We're going to let them kind of
Yes.
go with what they in the direction they want, but we're definitely going to push athletics because I just think there's so much you can learn from it. There's so many, life skills, hard work, good work ethic, responsibility, on trust. So we're definitely going to push it, but eventually what sport or path they take is going to be on them.
Well, someday they'll realize, if they haven't already, that their dad was a kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I try to bring them around as much as possible. So,
Well, Stefan, again, we are really excited to have you back in Sundance and helping our student athletes in physical therapy of all sports. It's going to be a great help for us, and I know it's great to have you back in the Weber. You never left, but great to have you back in the Weber State family as well. And I'm really looking forward to working with you.
No, yeah, appreciate you guys having me here, and appreciate talking to you.
All right.
Okay.
Go Wildcats.
Go Wildcats.